Welcome back. You're watching ED Inside. India's mining laws are nearly half a century old. There's a new Mining Act in the works which, if passed, will give the government greater powers to curb illegal mining and also attract greater foreign investment into the sector. But the Act also envisages sharing 26% of a company's profits with those displaced by mining. Now that is a ridiculous idea. Asha Gopalakrishnan tells you why.
India's mining industry may soon be rid of the shadows of the past. If the government has its way, the new Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Act, or the MMDR Act 2010, will replace rules that are more than a decade old. The new act aims to bring more transparency into the licensing policy and hopes to iron out other procedural inefficiencies.
Today, for example, if you get a mining license or a prospecting license, from that day till the time you will actually get the ore out to your plant, I really do not know how long it will take. Nobody knows. Let's be very clear. Because there are so many clearances. You find something, then suddenly because of our laws, you will find some new laws get introduced. I will just give you an example of our coal property. You got a coal property for our 5 million or 6 million ton expansion. We have completed the expansion. Now we are told that you have excess forest there. So you can't. Now, how do you operate?
Today the procedure is that the applicant makes application to the state government. The state government has a certain formula, they do the recommendation. Then it comes to the central government for prior approval. And then it is allotted. In other words, there is a check and balance at the center. They do some garbat, this state government, they do a lot of malpractices, subjective decision making, but at least there is a check in the center. Then under the new law, all the powers are given to the state governments.
But giving this power to the states comes with its own set of problems.
Total issue from the central comes to the state. And today what we see is certain areas, the states are not playing, it's not a level playing field while allocation of the mines. You see many mines are being allocated to the traders or the people who are not in the steel making. And depending on which government is there. So already there was some control in the hands of the center, that will be nullified.
The law leaves a lot of discretionary power and leaves it undefined. And so the discretionary power is in the hand of regulators or the rule framers.
The new bill proposes auctioning coal blocks and allocating them to the highest bidder instead of the current system where allocations are based on the end use of the project. Which means that only companies that have agreements with the end user are allocated coal mines for captive usage.
So it will bring a competition, like the Electricity Act brought a competition in the electricity sector, and the case 1, case 2 bids have gone well in the industry, and it has brought down the prices well. So similarly, it also brought in the efficiency in the sector. Similarly, there is this competition, it will bring in the competition, and it will also gel well in improving the efficiency and also a good effect on the prices.
Having already allocated more than 200 blocks, very few blocks are left, maybe not more than 30 or 40, which are new can be offered. So that is where they have to find a solution after doing a lot of homework to work out how they are going to put the blocks on bid. The caution which I would like to sound, if anybody comes out with a fat check and corners all the 40 blocks or all the 30 blocks, how are you going to deal with the situation?
The worry is that this might give traders an opportunity to corner coal blocks, control prices and adversely influence input costs, like they are already doing in several states. Only this time it will be legal and not illegal mining. According to the government's estimates, currently there are more than 15,000 illegal mines in India. That's nearly twice the number of valid mining leases. One of the main reasons for illegal mining is the outdated renewal system, because miners have to apply for renewal licenses on expiry. But the new bill proposes to do away with the renewal system and introduce extensions for miners. The government has also suggested setting up of a National Mineral Regulation Authority and empowering it with powers to prosecute to regulate the industry. Will it help?
They are doing about far-reaching changes which should expedite the process of grant of mineral concessions
and also to have a process which is seamless in nature from the exploration till exploiting the mine. And I suppose this will certainly bring about much needed improvement in the entire regulatory framework.
From resource allocations to issues that are closer to the heart, like the rehabilitation of local landowners. The draft paper for the new rule says that mining companies have to offer free shares to the tune of 26% from the promoter's quota to those displaced. And if the miner is a person, he has to offer an annuity equal to 26% of the profit on account of annual compensation.
How do we implement it? How do we know who are there? How do we find out the genuineness of those claiming that 26%? And these should not get into litigations and prolong the process of getting the mines to the rightful use.
I support that proposal, but whether that is implementable, I am not sure. So the first step, in my opinion, is to put in an export duty, and the receipt of that export duty should be put in a tribal welfare fund, and the money must go into the into the areas where this mining is happening. Because how much this 26% equity stake to the tribals will, how will it work? I don't know the mechanism.
If you see the new mines, and these calculations are available, even of the countries outside India, are not profitable to start with. So 26% equity means what? Or 26% profit means what? Rather than that, we must ensure, look, what has happened is the people who are displaced, the tribals in the area, have not got the fair share of the returns. That's for sure. Now, who is responsible, all that is past. What is important is, now onwards, we ensure that their development occurs properly. And by just some 26%, etc. is not going to happen.
This 26%, it seems to be mandatory, irrespective of what is the commodity cycle, irrespective of what is the evaluation of the project, irrespective of even what is the development in the local community which has already achieved through the project over the years.
The industry has its own interests in mind, and the government is trying its best to ensure that mine allocation is not only more transparent but also more fair to all segments of society. It has invited suggestions on this draft paper before tabling it in the Parliament. Industry has responded with keen interest. But no one knows what shape this new bill will take. Maybe that's why the night before the dawn is the darkest.
So the new mining bill is far from perfect. But how about sorting out the fight over iron ore utilization? That story is coming up after the short break. Stay with us.